Live video is interesting because there are lots and lots of people who are viewing the video at the same time. And when they're interacting with each other, we are supposed to distribute likes and comments for being generated by the viewers all at the same time to all of the viewers. And that is a big challenge because there could be tens of thousands of viewers and hundreds of likes being generated per second, and all of them need to be distributed to everybody. So that means that you could be distributing millions of likes at the same time. And that is part of the reason that I presented this talk at this conference, to talk about how we managed to do that. The other challenge is that sometimes the number of comments or the number of likes are so high that the person viewing the stream might get overwhelmed. Right? Like there might be too many comments flowing in. So for those things, we also do relevance. That maybe a comment from the broadcaster is relevant, or maybe a comment from somebody who you're connected to is relevant. So we do relevance based on the relevancy of that particular comment, and therefore we do filtering to get you just the appropriate comments. So these are some of the challenges with real-time interactions on live videos. Play in general is a completely asynchronous web framework. And what that means is that there is no blocking anywhere in the entire stack. So a single thread could be serving multiple requests because the thread is used only when there is something to be done for a particular request. This is in comparison to some of the previous frameworks like Jetty, where a single thread is assigned to a particular request and is kept assigned to it till the request finishes. So it's completely asynchronous, completely non-blocking, and that just means that it can scale much better to many number of requests than other frameworks. So that is the benefit of using something like the Play framework. Akka specifically is useful because it can allow you to create these mini actors, and each actor can manage a small task. And because each actor is again assigned a thread only when it is actually processing a particular message, it is again able to do a lot of actors with a very small number of threads, because a thread is assigned only when a message is processed. And therefore, Akka can also do a lot of concurrent operations with a very small number of threads. And again, it is completely non-blocking, and that helps a lot too. So most server frameworks, including Play, Node.js, Python, some of the common server frameworks that most people use, they all support maintaining persistent connections with clients, especially the simple event source interface, which allows you to maintain a long pole connection with the client. There are also alternatives like WebSockets. Most server frameworks support that too. WebSockets allow you bidirectional communication, whereas HTTP long pole allows you only server to client communication. So in general, you can use any server framework because they both support HTTP long pole and WebSockets. But there are also fancier frameworks like Socket.io and Comet, which are also supported on most server frameworks. In general, my advice is to start small, start simple, start with something like HTTP long pole because it is the most widely supported. And if it does not meet your use case, that's when you go into fancier frameworks. I think if we talk about non-technical skills, the most important skills is interpersonal skills, right? Just being a nice person, mentoring junior engineers, helping other people grow is really appreciated by everybody. Because ultimately, even in these bigger companies, people are looking for help, right? People are looking to grow. People are looking for guidance. And the more you help others, the more others will help you, and you grow faster. So in my opinion, if there is one non-technical skill that engineers should focus on, then that is interpersonal skills, communication skills, and just helping your colleagues and your juniors grow with you. When I was at Uber, it was growing really rapidly. We were experiencing about 10x growth in traffic in a few months, and we were also experiencing team growth, so about 2x size of team growth within a few months. That was simply because the rate at which Uber was growing at that time. And one of the things that I realized as a person who was trying to manage the team that was developing the rider app is that systems and processes that you kind of set up tend to break, right? Like maybe you think that, hey, I'm gonna hire a certain number of people in a certain time frame, or I'm going to make sure that my system can handle this much traffic in the next few weeks. You realize that your plans don't work, right? And you slowly and steadily start to plan not for 2x, not for 4x, but for 10x, right? So that was the motto that we used to follow, that any system that you put in place, any plan that you put in place, think about what will happen when it grows 10 times, and therefore plan ahead, right? So that is one. The other thing is that with most of these things, as things grow, you need to have distributed leadership. What that means is that you cannot yourself worry about everything or take into account everything. So as your team grows, let people make their own decisions. Let them make their own choices, right? Give them the autonomy to make the choices that are best for the thing that they are overseeing, and then hold them accountable, right? Like if people have the autonomy to do something, then they will also be responsible for what they're doing. And that really helps in growth, because everybody then focuses on the area that they're looking at, and you can make sure that everybody is given the autonomy and the choice to make their own decisions, and also be held responsible for the decisions that they're making. And that helps growth.